What's the word, good people? It's Kyron here, back for another chapter and another week in the books, book 2. Even though it might have a book 1 feel to it, because we have the OG bookworm in the house with us, Maurice Hunt III. Obviously, the good brother Spike Lou.
What up, though?
Of course, it wouldn't be a first Friday on another week in the books without the host of the Frequency Podcast, Portia Renee. How's everybody feeling today, man? How y'all doing?
Oh, great.
It's an honor to be here, brothers. It's an honor to be here with the legend Spike Lou and the MVP Big Rich and the one that moves the needle, Portia Renee. You know, she definitely get the needle moving on that joint. So it's good to be here with y'all for sure.
You know what's funny sometimes, especially me and Rachel just recorded yesterday. It's funny for me recording with people who I've known for years. You know, reaching that, I don't want to give away nobody's age, man, but I'm reaching the point where I've known Portia for 20 years.
Okay.
Same with Rachel and everything else. And it's funny when I think about who they are, how people respond to them from a podcast landscape, and I always think like they've been that's who they've been.
Yeah.
Like since I've known them. It's just always funny that it translates the same way to other people. So that's always dope, man. But I did not shout out Mo in regards to the work that he's been putting in. Something that'll last forever. Roll, the audio drama series, 4 seasons. We actually had a conversation where I got to interview him about the whole process because I appreciate that, man. It was I had a great time just because he literally made a story that was appealing and intriguing, all via audio. The sound effects, man, 4 seasons of it. He did the writing, the directing, the acting, the producing, the editing, and made an incredible product. So I think spinoffs are on the way. So shout out to him for that. And also Childish Grown-Ups, looking at films from a childish point of view as you're a grown man now or grown adults now. Shout out to me and Ash over there.
Absolutely.
And shout out to my dog Spike Lou, man. Spike Lou, hey, man, listen, let me tell y'all something. Spike Lou been keeping up with his word, man. He said
big
he about to
Spike
get more
over
social. Yeah, man, I got the Spike shirt on.
Yeah.
All right.
You know
what I mean? Because Spike's been over here doing the weekly updates, which is perfect. I ain't gonna hold you. I said it last week. Man, I wish I could thought of that. Because that's a perfect one time a week, just a quick check-in. I ain't gotta be in y'all face every day. It's kind of perfect, man. And Portia just dropped a new episode recently that was really, really, really good. In regards to relationships. And it was in regard to a relationship and you staying too long, is it time to leave, all that stuff. So it's I love having those conversations and not from the typical salacious gender wars type of perspective. It's more so just about human level. So please check all 3 of them. Obviously, you know, Spike Lou here every week, but definitely Portia and Mo. Check out their work, subscribe, like, comment, share, the whole 9. This episode, you see there's 4 of us. I'm going to treat it more like a moderator, and I'll talk about how we got here and what we're going to discuss. You see the episode title, What Kind of Friend Are You? But before we do, I'm going to go ahead and get into some comments that were left based on last week's episode, chapter 30. Shout out to School. We're going to go to YouTube first. Public Enemy B,
my brother,
our guy, he left a couple comments. First one, I don't know what was said at the hour 44-minute mark. I think School mentioned I ain't strong enough, and it's okay to say that. When talking about taking accountability of self in the concert example, it was spot on. All right. Even when it's not dealing with someone like addiction, it's important to have self-awareness enough to realize you might be handling something and you might not be able to handle something, and that's okay, or be okay with it, excuse me, which is part of what we're going to talk about today. And then he also mentioned congrats on 1 year plus, Isaiah. That's fantastic. Continue to share your light with others on the journey. Big shout out to School, man, because it's not easy to have those kind of conversations and put yourself all the way out there for everybody to listen. But that's a true sign of growth. I can say it. I've seen it firsthand, man. Very proud of School. And then we also got a comment on Spotify, I believe, from Dejour Falk, our guy. Having Isaiah on is always a great episode. Such a good platform to hear about things that Rich said is not in a lot of media, but never feels like it's authentic. After listening to this week's The Frequency episode, shout out to Portia, y'all got to go through the relationships and what you all need in your potential next week with Portia. Great episode. You know what? I did not see that in time before we planned this, because this episode was kind of built off the heels of of something that happened at the end of chapter 30, but maybe chapter 32, 33, whenever Portia's available, we'd love to have Portia on and have that conversation. Because I recently was talking about that with someone. I was like, I don't know if I've ever sat down in my life and wrote. I always knew what kind of partner I wanted to be.
Mm-hmm.
I never wrote down what I wanted from my partner.
That shit is hard too when you really think about it.
Yeah, I think we all reach a point where you pass the self-embarrassment. And what I mean by that is people like to say you too old for this, you're too young for that, whatever the case is. And it's easy to feel like I can't believe I'm 38 and never thought of that. I can't believe I'm 45 and never thought of this. But fuck all that, man. Like life is all about your experiences and your journeys. And I'm glad I reached a point where I don't care about those things because that puts a hurdle on people that's unnecessary. It's really just about being enlightened and trying to find out what's next. So Dejor, appreciate you. Glad that you're listening to the frequency. Glad we can cross over and have that kind of, that's the whole point of First Fridays and having Portia on like this because they are incredible conversations.
Hey, we moving like a podcast network right now.
Period.
Hey, listen, it's so tight knit right now. We might as well go ahead and drop the name and put all these joints under it. That's how we moving for real. It's all family.
We got some work to do, man. But obviously, it's always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure. But I just want to kind of lead us into today's chapter. Like I said, no real pleasantries or too much current events. I want to get straight to the topic just out of respect the time and feedback, just making sure we get right to it, make sure everybody knows what's going on. But the format is still there. We'll be rolling it out. But since there's 4 of us, I want to get rolling. So last week, chapter 30, at the end of the episode, incredible episode, man. Spike Lee made a point in regards to what responsibility does he have, or anyone for that matter, to their friends when you are an adult and you know who you are, or maybe you're still trying to figure that out and struggling with limitations and the whole nine. Is it one's responsibility to shield people who they call friends from things they might be struggling with or hold responsibility for things that they want to accomplish? The example was Isaiah, who obviously talked about his addiction. We were discussing, or I mentioned how, hey, I don't smoke around Isaiah. That's just something I do. That's my brother. I just don't do it, right? That's just a me thing. However, I also said I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to. If I saw Isaiah smoking, I would not walk up to him and take the joint out of his mouth. Like, he's a grown man. He has a family. Like, I'm not going to do that. However, it is something that I'm aware of. Like, hey, I know you want to stop this. If somebody say, hey, I'm not trying to drink, and I think I use another example. If I got a homie, and I think this is what really sparked the conversation. If I got a homie that told me he's not trying to smoke, like no addiction issue, just something they're trying to stop doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
I said I would not smoke. I would not offer them to smoke, or probably wouldn't smoke around them, knowing, depending on the friend, if they had the willpower to say yes or no. There are some friends who tell me they're going to stop smoking, and if I light up, they're going to ask to hit the joint, right? And then there's other people that's like, nah, I'm cool, man. I'm trying to stop. Whose responsibility is it to make sure that people are in a good space? And Spike Lou, I want to hand it over to you because I paraphrase very, very much so on it. And I want you to kind of explain a little bit because the feedback I got from people, they weren't on your ass. I don't want to put it like people were on your ass because it wasn't that. It was literally, I'm more curious. I want to hear more about what Spike has to say because this is an interesting way to look at things. Mo even hit us up in our group chat and was like, boy, Spike Lou, you a wild boy. And I think people want some clarity on what it is that you meant and what you view a good friend to be, what you hold yourself accountable for when it comes to friendship, what you expect out of your own friends. And we talked about it briefly on the phone, Spike, the past couple of weeks. And I really want to know how you feel about this because I know it's lighthearted in a sense, but genuinely, we've had a couple people you've given us feedback that say, hey, man, Spike Lee, you're a terrible friend. And they don't mean it in a bad, serious way, but it is one of those little jabs like, bro, you a bad friend. Man. You don't do this, you don't do that. Yeah. And I wonder, how does that make you feel, for one? And if you agree with it, and then we'll get into everything else. And this is just before you answer, this episode is not like therapy for Spike Lee. This is a general conversation about friendship. This just so happens how we got here because of Spike's comments. So we're going to lead with that and then talk about friendship as a whole. So Spike Lou, my brother. What do you feel about people when they say you're a bad friend? Are they qualified to say it? Do you take that to heart? And what do you do moving forward from it?
The people that do or have said that to me say that jokingly, as you said, Stab, and it's only from a communication standpoint. I know if they were to say in any other aspect of friendship, like, do you check the box? They're going to check yes. It's strictly jabbing from a communication standpoint. And to answer your question and say I'm a bad friend in that sense, absolutely. I read over 100 texts today that, like, I just put my phone back in my pocket and was like, bro, I don't care. But I had something else I was doing today. But that being said, like, yeah, from a communication standpoint, absolutely. But terrible friend. But I think any one of those, well, not even think, I know any one of those people that made those jabs about saying that, they would say, or did immediately follow up and say, no, you're a great friend in the sense of all these other things, but this specific thing, like expecting you to answer the phone or expecting you to, like, if you're in town, make time to see, like communication aspects, as I said. But what I would do though, before I went into the second part that you said, is toss it to Mo, because I want more clarity. I thought you would have some on the feedback on what you guys are talking about specifically and what I said.
Oh yeah, Mo, you did send a text message. If you want to get into your original thoughts once you heard the episode, because we didn't even talk about it. I assumed, because once you said it, Mo didn't give any kind of description of what happened, and I responded once he said, "I'm like, oh, you must have gotten to the end of the
because he had question marks like what."
I didn't know what he was clueless.
I was
and
genuinely
like, oh, you must have gotten to
confused,
the episode, and I said it in real time.
Yeah, you did. Yeah,
I said it. I said we're gonna have to follow up on this because I know people are gonna want some clarity and conversation around the friendship topic. So Mo,
because what I just heard Rich say is the same thing that I said. Like all of that stuff he said on the lead is the same thing I said.
Nah, you weren't. You pretty much said I'm lighting up, nigga. Like fuck,
you calling
calling
niggas weak. Like you was
I don't
remember that.
I'll go back. Oh, y'all don't remember that, huh? Okay. Hey, listen.
Okay, what are you saying specifically? Then,
well, you were like, because like I was with you the whole time. I was like, oh man, I said Spike asked some dope questions, like especially when you asked, like, all right, there was a question you asked school where you was like, do you see there a day where you think that you could just maybe indulge, like maybe a glass of champagne or anything? And like, of course, he stood on like, nah, bro, I don't. You were asking really good questions, but then there was this moment towards the end where you were like, I mean, I mean, rather you smoke or not, my nigga. Like, I'm still gonna do what I'm gonna do. Like, you're not gonna consider any of this. Like that's why I was mind blown. Then you went even further into it. I was like, all right, I need to have a conversation with bro, because
you definitely doubled down.
Yeah, you doubled down and went even further with it. Like I was like, bro, like, no, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you need to babysit somebody else's habit. I knew where you were coming from a foundational standpoint, but I was like, you don't even consider it. Like
I think that's what friendship. Okay, I understand where you're coming from now.
Okay.
I think that's what friendship is, though. And I ain't talking about like associates or good friends. I'm talking about your real friends, in a sense of I hang out with this person, have been hanging out with this person, to know this person. Like, because I don't drink, that don't mean I can't go to the bar with you. Like, we are friends on a deeper level than that. Like, you can get lit. We've been friends and are going to be friends beyond this. It ain't about you not drinking. It's about the decision I made. So even when you say with the smoking, like, I'm not talking about like social friends. I ain't talking about, oh yeah, that's my boy. I'm talking about your real friends. Well, like, if we coming over to the crib to watch football, like, if you invited me and you stopped smoking or whatever it may be, the expectation shouldn't be for you to say, like, oh no, you can't smoke around me, bro. Like, I can't take the smell of it. Especially if you know I smoke. Then just don't invite me. That's fine.
But would you be considered? But what should be considered up to say, hey, bro, I know you coming through, just letting you know. I'm gonna
smoke. Yeah, I go outside, I go to the car.
But what I'm saying, but would you take that step to even say it, or be like, nigga, you know who I am, nigga, when you pull up, you know what's up.
No. I ain't gonna be that brash about it, no. Because again, we talking about real friends.
Yeah, real friends. Yeah.
So that's a fantastic question, Mo. Because I am gonna have that consideration when you're talking about real friends, and I know what you're dealing with.
Okay.
I know that's something like, yeah, hey, bro, it's cool I smoke outside when I get over there? Is it, you know what I'm saying? If I'm drinking, is it cool if I put it in this little cup where motherfuckers don't know, or don't bring a bottle or something? I already have my stuff with me. Yeah, I 100% would have that consideration.
Yeah, that's not the tune.
See, you read into it though.
That's not the tune though. Like, cause I like the way the tune you were playing. I was like, is this nigga lit or what? Like, what is he talking about, bro? Like, for real? Because I was like, dude, you doubled down on. I was like, where did this come from? But
I think the big difference that was clarified right now was you made it sound like that it didn't matter who it was, your real friends, associates. It was kind of like everybody's in this bucket. Like, I'm not responsible for what you do and what you don't do.
That's it.
I wanna toss it over to Portia though, because we've tossed around the word of the term real friends. I don't know enough about astrology. That's Portia's bag. I know she's a Taurus. I'm sure this has something to do with how she treats friendship.
I am a Taurus, but shout out to you.
You are?
Yeah. That's probably why it connects. It all makes sense,
Yeah, that's right.
Portia, what do you?
April 21st.
Okay. My best friend is April 22nd. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you good. You good. You perfectly fine. We just talking. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm curious to know, because one thing that I've noticed getting older is you have to put people in different buckets. Like, maybe when you're 22, 23, everybody your friend, everybody your homie, everybody your brother. You know what I mean? As a young kid, say twin and all them. Everybody's that and you that. And as you get older, you realize, I probably only have maybe 2, 3, 4
for sure
real friends, and then
max 5.
And then everybody else is in different tiers. And I don't even know if we should or know how to separate those tiers, because there's people I absolutely love and I'll do whatever for that I might not talk to, but
they just ain't on tier 1.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. There's the high level, then we talked about it on book 1, day 1s, day 2s, all of that. But there's people who in your life you talk to every day. There's other people that I might talk to 4 times a year, but I promise I'll stop everything if you need me. Portia, what do you consider a real friend? And have you ever bracketed people in your life and said, oh, this is an associate, this is the homie, this is whatever? Do you even consider that? Are you careful? And I know you are, with who you call friend and et cetera.
I feel like at the grown age that we all are, I feel like that's a little tricky, because I do feel like when you say, oh, I don't have new friends, or I put people in categories, I feel like at this age we are limiting ourselves from learning new people and experiencing new things, because we have stuck to, oh, this is the crew. You know what I mean? As of right now, I feel like if I talk to you, you my friend. Like, because I want to be considered, like, I'm at the age now, especially, living in Dallas somewhat alone. I understand the importance of community and friendship now. So if I give you my energy and we vibing, we friends, because I consider Spike a friend. Just really met him, but the vibe is there. I don't want nothing to go wrong for him. I support him. He supports me. I have friends who I've had for years who won't share the podcast, who won't, engage with it. So why would Spike be any lower than them? I guess you just have to, if it's a vibe, it's a vibe. And everybody deserves the respect of a friend.
Well, let me ask this. I wanted to follow up. So with that being said, like, because I think the term that doesn't get used a lot is associates. How do you, dealing with Spike or anybody else that you've met in recent history versus the day 1s versus day 2s, all that, how do you distinguish those? Like, okay, this is associate, because with an associate, like, you might support and rock, but at the end of the day, there's no expectation. But friends, there at some point, there's going to be some kind of expectation, whether it's low, high, whatever it is, depending on the history that y'all have. How did you distinguish that with Spike, as far as saying, okay, and I mean, Spike is just, he's literally just the general person putting in the spot. It could be any of us, but how did you distinguish to say, okay, he's a friend versus he's an associate or he's a colleague?
The vibe. Like, I feel like I'm real good at a judge of character. And on top of that, I don't have to talk to Spike every day to know where he stands on things, because we do have, he's on 1001 podcast. So I can hear, I can hear where we agree on things, where we disagree on things. But at the core, I feel like morally, he a good dude. So why wouldn't I call him a friend? But to answer your question, to distinguish like an associate, if I don't text you, if you don't text me, if we really only talk in a certain setting, but we cool, then you're an associate to me.
Let me ask you something.
Can I have one quick question? Just a short answer. Do you have any friends that are just social media friends, like that you consider a friend, or you consider those associates? Like you only speak on DMs or commenting on a post? Are those friends?
And I've never met them for real? Is that the
you never met them? Yeah. Would you consider like
keep in mind me, Rich, and Mo never met.
Yeah.
Keep in mind we've never met.
Oh damn, for real?
Right.
It's crazy.
We've been online dating this whole time.
Yeah, I guess y'all have been, huh?
Yeah.
Pen pals.
Pen pals, all that.
At this point, the way that society is rolling, no. But I also don't talk to nobody on my social media that I don't know in some way, shape, or form either.
That's
so.
What I wanted to ask you,
that's a great point.
You said something interesting about what I wanted to get more information on. You said as friend, when they're friends, at some point you're expecting something back from them, and that's what differentiates them and associates, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So at the ages that we are now, and where Rich said about putting friendships in bucket, aren't we mature enough to be like, well, this is just my friend because, as Portia was saying, I enjoy their energy. I'm never expecting or going to ask for anything from them. Like, I meet people on the golf course all the time. It's like, damn, I've been out here with you. I didn't know you for 3-4 hours. Maybe if y'all have some similar interests in fields of work, y'all exchange numbers. If I were referring, like if they said they did something like sell real estate and somebody was trying to buy a house, I would say, hey, my friend I met on the golf course, I'll give you them my number. I'll give you their number and you can call them. And that's not me expecting them back from them. That's just saying at this age, we can use friend a lot more loosely than it being someone who we view genuinely close. It could be just someone that you made a cool connection with, right?
Because I think just
I don't know.
Before you respond.
Okay.
Okay. Maybe the associate part is getting me, because I can meet somebody and like I said, I could just be vibing with them. I want the best for them. They want the best for me. We friends. But then I have people who I literally talk to every day. They know the ins and the outs of me. I don't consider them my friends. I consider them my chosen family. So it's like once you get into the depths of me and you are able to tell a story, when you can go to that person and be like, tell me about Portia and how she really feels about this, and this. I could just consider us family at that point. So maybe my friends are my associates, I guess, if we defining it.
Okay.
So for me, I look at associates totally. I'm sorry, Rich. I look at associates totally differently. To me, associate is somebody, oh, you might be cool, but I wouldn't be friends with you. Like I wouldn't be friends with you. There's something that I observed about you where it's like, nah, like I know, dude, I'll have a conversation with him. We may have mutual friends, but he's been labeled an associate because I wouldn't be friends with somebody like that.
So you don't like him?
That's what I view in an associate. Not I don't like him. Like you spoke to his vibe. Like I know the vibes it ain't gonna ever match. I may have heard something that I ain't saying that I know it's true. I may have heard something, I may have saw something, but it's just an observation that I've made. It was like, okay, this person wouldn't be my friend. This person would be my associate. So I put associate, to your point, Portia, not as a negative connotation, but it's someone that I wouldn't be friends with.
So associate is cordial.
Yeah, it's cordial.
In the same room with you.
Yes.
Okay. I feel like that's not I just feel like if I don't want to spend my space with you, or if I have to be linked to somebody to be around you, then I wouldn't even consider you an associate nor a friend. You're just somebody I know.
Let me circle back. I want to circle back to this whole category thing anyway, because I'm curious to know if it's even needed. But I want to touch on something you just mentioned, Mo. You, myself, Spike, we never met. We just said that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Going back to what you just said, do you have expectations from Spike and myself? Outside of podcasting, do you have any expectations out of us?
Yeah, I do now.
Okay.
The more we talk, the more we've sent text messages, I'm starting to have an expectation. And again, it doesn't have to be a high expectation, but you seem like you got to follow up before I.
Well, no. This is just fascinating to me. I'm very curious because we never talk about this because this all started podcasting, but I can genuinely say I consider Mo and Spike Lee like a brother, like friends, like whatever you want to call it, because I've gotten to know them as human beings, as Black men, as people. And it's like, it ain't just one of them I'll record with these dudes. Like, I would kick it with these dudes. If they got something going on, like if in the year 2097 when Spike get married, like I'm gonna be at the wedding. Like I'm gonna do the whole nine. You know what I mean? Like I want to make sure their families are good. Like,
too soon.
Too soon. Yeah, a little bit early.
That's good. That's good.
Like niggas in my prayers. You know what I mean? Like I want to make sure everybody's good and family straight, the whole nine. So it's always funny about the expectations because I don't even know a scenario of something that would happen that would disappoint me. And I think that might be a lot of friendship as well. Like your expectations that you put on the people that you call friends, especially if they're not communicated.
Okay.
So if you say you expect something out of me and Spike, which I'm sure we would show up for whatever you need, but if we didn't know that, where does the rubber meet the road? Like at what point is it your fault for saying, I feel away, and we looking like, hey, I never even know that you expected that out of me. Like, my nigga, I thought this was that. And this doesn't take us out of it, take all three of us. I'm just talking about in general.
General. Like, I didn't know
somebody they meet. Like, how important is that? And this is open for all three of y'all to have a communication, or does that feel forced? Does it feel forced to sit down and say, all right, this is what I expect for you if you're gonna be my friend. Here, sign this sheet right here. This is what you're signing up for.
I get all that because niggas be cool, but like to keep it honest, it's like sometimes we just gotta do that. Like I ain't gonna say like, let's get the sheet down, but it's like if something hurts you, then it's like at some point, like, hey, bro, I'm gonna keep it being, bro. Like it'll bother me a little bit. I ain't gonna lie. Like that kind of hurt a little bit.
And then you would expect the appropriate a response that made you feel better.
No,
like what's the expectation in it? The expectation is just to receive your feedback.
Yeah, receive the feedback and kind of like see where I'm coming from and be like, okay, when we go forward, like take this in more consideration. So for me, it's like my expectation of y'all is, since we haven't met each other, it's just like I just need to know my brothers genuinely care. And your actions speak louder than words. It's cliche, but it's the real. Because I ain't gonna lie. When Dro came on the pod, I didn't think about it until that nigga said, he was like, damn, I mean, like, dang, Spike, bro, you he just had a baby and this and that. I never even, because men, that's how we are. We don't expect nothing from each other. But when he said that, I was like, damn, I never even considered. I was like, bro, we've been doing this we did 100 episodes, probably, 80 something officially. And I was like, damn, I didn't think about that. And I didn't put that expectation on him, but I'm like, bro, I've almost cried on the podcast at least 5 times. You know what I mean? Like being vulnerable. Like, and so it made me consider some things, and that's what started to up my expectation. I had zero kind of expectation before, but that made me start to be like, hey, you know what? I need to do that. And also would have helped, like, your expectation sometimes with friendship is women. Like women will show you how to like actually hold your friends accountable. And they'll hold you accountable. Like I know y'all make the thing about marriage all the time or whatever, but I know both of y'all have been in relationships, and sometimes they be like, your girl will tell you should reach out to him. Like, I ain't about to reach out. He probably cool. Reach out to him. Then you reach out like, dang, I didn't know. After the conversation, bro really needed that call. That's the insight women be having. And so in that moment when Dro said that, it kind of like resonated differently. I said, okay, whenever we link up is in real life, and then when we link up on the pod, I'm going to drop this here where I got expectation, like your actions show that you really care, and I'm gonna hold myself accountable. I want to make sure I show you care. We got to move past lip service. There's got to be actions. You know what I mean? Like it ain't got to be every day, every moment. Like, hey, bro, you good? I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying we have to move past speaking well, because we all speak well on this podcast. Like, we can do that all day and night, but where does, because like I said, I'm not expecting no giving, even now I'm not, but the fact that Dro did, like, bro, that blew my mind when he sent diapers. Blew my mind. It blew my mind when he sent formula. This is 2 different occasions, and this is Spike friend, but now I'm like, bro, I gotta start consider, like, yo, Dro might be my friend, because not because I'm asking for these things, but your words became action. You know what I mean? So
like
the thoughtfulness of it. And so not that, and I still, like I said, I do see us as friends, Spike. I do, because I like,
see what it's like being a part of my friend tree, Mo. Like, see how that little branches, see how them branches reach
stand out. I see Portia got a look on her face.
Go ahead.
No, I'm not trying to cut you off. But my mind be running. My question to y'all is, what do you mean by expectation? That, I think that is what's tripping me up, because I feel like with relationships, romantic or friendships, you'll put an expectation on somebody, not realizing that your expectation may be out of what they can do, but that doesn't make them a bad person. That doesn't make them a bad friend. So to your example, he sent formula and he sent diapers. That shows that he cares, and that's something that he can provide. But I do think that it's unfair to expect Spike or someone else, like, to look at what they did for you and then be like, oh, that's my expectation for all my friends.
No, I don't generalize like that.
So what's the expectation?
So the expectation.
Go ahead, man.
The expectation probably, like, kind of like hindsight's 2020. Probably, like, for me, would have been probably like, after the situation, after, we send in text like, oh, the baby, he's here or whatever. Probably like a phone call.
Damn, Spike, you ain't called?
Like a phone call, like, hey, bro, what's up, man? What was that like, bro? Run me the details. Like, what's up? Like, how was it? You got a son now, bro. This your second child. What's up? Like, anything that I know that's going to push you out of your comfort zone. That, that's so, and set aside that the expectation thing when you're dealing with friends in general is I'm not going to say you need to keep having these reoccurring indicators to say, are you my friend or associate? I'm not going to say that, because once you build a foundation, you know how it is. You might not talk for years. When you get back together, y'all right back where y'all was.
Right.
But in this early stage of what we're building on a friendship level, is the expectation is just these indicators to show that you care.
Just some consideration.
For real. Like, and so that turns into action. Not just I thought it, I said it, but something that turns into action. I'm not saying like you got to be some financial cash at me or like send me diapers or whatever, but just some indicators like, you know what, I don't normally do this, but because this is how many times you go out with your friend and be like, I don't normally do this, but because you.
Yeah. Okay.
Let me say this. Let me say this real quick, because I want to flip this just a little bit.
Wait, I
want to get the
opinion. Did you call Mo? Did you call Mo Rich when he had
but I talk to Mo often. Like, I talk to Mo. Like,
did he call me with what? What timeline?
About your son being born and stuff like that. Like,
he called when your son was born.
There's somewhere in that timeline. Yeah, he definitely did.
Yeah, somewhere in that timeline. Yeah, but like me and Mo will jump on for a 10-minute call and end up being an hour. Like, every time had that. I don't know how it happened. It just started ever since our first phone call. It was like that.
Yeah.
Like, there's points early in our relationship, I was calling Mo for advice on certain things, like personal things, like, I need help. What do you think about this situation? And it just kind of worked out like that. But I want to flip that on its head a little bit. I say this all the time. My friends will never surprise me. Don't some of you, or don't y'all think, and correct me if I'm wrong, or disagree if you may, don't you think it's a little bit of our responsibility to know going back to that expectation word, Portia, what to expect from our friends. For example, if I know I have a friend who's always going to be an hour late to things, should I be upset when they're an hour late to something? If I know I have a friend who will never call me and I always got to make that phone call, should I be upset when I never hear from them? Like, you know what I mean? It's certain things that I feel like, do you have to accept a person for who they are, or is part of friendship expecting them to grow and get out of these things? Because at that point, you're kind of making it about you, right? It's not about that person's well-being. Oh, you'll be a better person if you reach out more. That might be true, but I feel like our friendship would prosper if you reached out more. That's a very personal thing. Versus, oh, I know that's who Spike Lee is. I know that's who Mo is. I know that's who Portia is. I don't take any offense to that. Is that a little bit too cavalier in the thinking? Like, is that not?
It has to be.
Because I think a big part of friendship. Is elevating and getting better. You know what I mean? And maybe growing together and maybe seeing. Oh, I remember when Portia, you know, the crew, Salt, Barks, all of them, man. I look at them. I look at everybody when we was in college, and I look at them now. Like, man, I'm so proud of these niggas because they all elevated and grew like wild niggas, like just some out of world shit. And it's like, damn, we all grew together, and it's beautiful to see it, even if we do have some like crazy mindsets still. I know that's kind of long-winded, but how much of it is our responsibility to say, that's just them, or is that not being a good friend? That might be an example of not being a good friend. I'm letting you be stagnant, and I'm letting you not see your potential.
I think you're referring to like day ones, because I mean, day ones, you got history, but when you're building new friendships, you're trying to, it's just like a relationship. Like I just had a conversation with one of my bros where, you know, him being married, there's some challenges. And I had to tell him, like, y'all don't know y'all identity as one. We trying to figure out who we are together.
How long
you know who?
Damn.
It's still under a year.
Oh.
So you don't know your identity as one. So same thing with new friendships. When you're building a new friendship, you're trying to figure out what's our thing. What's our, you know, you talking about the people that you've known for 10, 20 years, 25 years, whatever. It's like, okay, day one is like, at this point, this is who you are. I don't have necessarily the same expectations. And if I do have expectations, you tend to always meet it because I've already built it according to who you are. But like when you're building new, go ahead. What was you gonna say?
No, go ahead. Finish.
Oh, but when you're building like new friendships, you're trying to, you do need to communicate your expectations, but I do think that you're trying to build towards who we are as brothers. All right, let's figure that out. You know what I mean?
You're right. I think the thing with day ones is I can communicate with you better how serious this is to me.
Yep.
It's cool that you late for everything else, but this is my wedding. Don't be late.
Gotcha.
And we can have that sense of communication where you can almost feel offended because you know me, that's my brother. We've been knowing each other forever. I need to express this way to you so you understand how important this is for me. So to your point, Rich, you can give them the benefit of the doubt if we like bar hopping on a Saturday or random Saturday. But if it's important to me, I need to express even to my day ones and not have them assume that, oh, I can do my normal shit at this. I think the duty falls on the friend that's expecting them to show up differently. Is like, I need to express this to you.
Yeah.
It can't be, oh, you know this my wedding, so you can't do your normal thing. It's like, no, I need to sit you down. I'm pulling you to the side and I'm telling you, like, my nigga, do not show up an hour late. Like, that's not acceptable.
And they show up an hour late, and then what?
I don't think I agree with that.
Hold on, real quick, Portia. I want to hear your thoughts on that. But Spike, they show up an hour late, then what? They're not your friend no more?
That affects the friendship. I ain't gonna say they're not your friend no more, but it does affect the friendship.
Yep.
Because you blatantly disrespecting, like, I pulled you to the side and asked you this from a personal level.
And men don't ask.
Right.
Men don't ask.
Like, this is important to me or somebody close to me, and I know it's going to be repercussions from this, so I don't want this to happen on this day, and I know you're notorious for this. Bro, can you please do this? Or is there anything that I can do to make sure that you do this? So,
Portia, you said you don't know if you agree with that. What's up?
I don't agree with that. Okay, so with the wedding example, I don't feel as though if you are my friend, I should have to tell you not to do your regular shit on one of the most important days of my life. I feel like that is where consideration and just care and love and being supportive comes in that. Now,
that's why women beef like they do. What you just said.
That I'm going through.
That's why women beef like they do, because y'all expect y'all friends to like already know that. Men know that we do that, we got to tell them. The reason women do those little cold wars that y'all do, that's why, because what you just said, I think.
Okay, but okay. For example, I'm gonna give a real example. I have had a friend for over 15 years, right? We have always been close. I have always showed up, weddings, kids, birthdays, matters done. I am there, right? I moved to Dallas. Friend ain't really popping up for me, right? I finally got tired of it. And I did the spike thing. Hey, I want you to know I ain't tripping. I ain't trying to beef. But I do find it very disappointing that you can do this, this, and this for these people and travel for these people. And I have been here for you and you have not came to see me, right? I get a promise. You know what? You're right. I get it. Your birthday, I'm there. We're doing the things. You are a great friend. Da, 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 da. March, April, May come. Ain't nobody talked about no tickets, no plan, or no coming. In that sense, I feel like, okay, we still cool, but I can't continue to put you here because I truly expressed something to you. I'm not a vulnerable person. I told you that affected me, and you just told me what I wanted to hear for it to happen. That is something that I feel is an expectation. But having to tell somebody, yo, I just had a child, and they don't respond. Yo, I just got married. They want to be late. Yo, I had a parent who's sick, passed away. They don't check on you. Like, I feel like those are the type of things that show that you're a friend, not just the text you a meme every so often. You know what I'm
saying? Yeah, absolutely. I just thought about this because one thing that I struggle with, I don't think I struggle with friendship that much. Because I really do appreciate showing up for people and celebrating people. But in that same vein, I don't do the same for family as much. Like mom's, big sis, school, all of them. But I'm thinking about cousins, and the reason this is coming up, one of my youngest first cousin graduated high school last weekend, the weekend before, I can't remember. And I went home and we had the celebration, and I'm seeing all these kids, like a second generation, like my cousin's kids and stuff like that. And I'm thinking, like, I don't know how to these kids' names. I don't know which kid go to which one of my cousins. And I felt awful about that. Because I did have a chance to kick it with two of my cousins afterwards. And granted, we all grew up together. It's not like those cousins that only see each other here and there. When we were kids, we all grew up together, grandma's crib, the whole nine. I got to kick it with two of them afterwards, and it was a good time. I'm like, damn, man, like, am I a good family member? Am I a good cousin? Like, I should be knowing this. Like, I shouldn't just be showing up for the meal and then just, all right, y'all, see, I'll holler at y'all next time. I'll catch y'all at Thanksgiving. I know family and friends is a little bit different. That's a whole nother conversation outside of this. But do y'all, just out of curiosity, y'all feel the same way? Like, do you ever look at it and say, I owe more? Or let me ask you this way. Hove got a bar for everything.
And Drake.
Nickels and Dimes. Stop it. Jesus. Nickels and Dimes, one of my favorite Jay-Z songs, man. I love my niggas more than my own blood. Hope that's not fucked up. Is that fucked up?
No, not to me, because I feel the exact same way.
Yeah, you giving your I believe in the saying, you giving your family, you choose your friends. And that, yeah, like, you do what you can do for family, because like, sound crazy to say, but really, how well do you know some of your family? Like, you know your friends a lot better than you know your second and third cousins, or
which
like
is
the auntie you never hung around with. Like, that's just normal, I feel like, in life, because you choose the people. Like, these people that we talking about with the weddings and the day ones and associates versus friends, these are people that, like, I've observed, I've been around, we've been doing the same things. Like, I've gotten an accurate read on you. Family, this may be somebody that I just met at a couple barbecues. I do, yeah, that's such and such son. Like, oh, yeah, okay, cool.
I'm talking about the family you actually know, like not those family. I'm talking about we grew up together. You always say, Spike, your cousin, your first friend. I'm talking about
my close friend, my close family, yeah. But like, I still don't feel that for like cousins on the other side, or like, I have other first cousins besides the one that was my mama, sister, daughter. But we're we friends too, but not like that. And even on the other side, where it's like not my grandmother's kids, but her brother's kids and they cousins, like, yeah, I see them and say, "What's up, cuz?" But I don't feel no obligations to that. As far as like, I should know you better.
How well? Speaking on friendship, one of the questions I thought of was, how well do you need to know someone to consider them a friend? Right.
See, I think the term is real. I go back to the.
And I guess this is you're good. Here's what I'm getting to. How long will you stand next to your friend if something bad happens? And what I mean by that is this: like an accusation, some wild shit. You get on the internet one day, and it could just be local. It could be in your local city, whatever the case is. But you found out somebody did some foul shit, right? I don't even.
Like they did it, or can I ask them and they say they didn't do it?
Like, let's say they caught let's say, and
why are you around?
Let's say they got a sexual assault charge, right? And you weren't aware of it. You didn't know your man's was a freaky ass nigga like that. Or your homegirl.
Or domestic.
And they caught your sexual assault charge. Somebody online saying,
so when I call him and ask him about it, like when I call him and ask him about it, like what the story
is. He denies it. He says that ain't happened. That ain't true. Like, as a friend, do you feel the responsibility? I'm not gonna say to post anything because I don't think anybody has to stand up for that. I don't really believe in that. But do you? He said I ain't posting shit. But do you feel any responsibility to still be there and stand next to them? Or are you looking at them sideways?
I've been in that situation before. That's crazy.
You said what? You have?
I've actually been in that exact situation before. Where?
Well, how did that? How'd you handle
that? I went to his house. Yo, homie, what's up? What happened? And he told me his side of the story. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, it was one of those, she told me she was this age. She wasn't really this age. Like, it just seemed like, okay, you're still the guy that I consider a friend. This was just a fucked up happenstance. And I still rock with him. I mean, because it wasn't like, oh, it was this girl, this girl, this girl. It was just her word against his. So
was there ever any, I don't want to use the word disappointment, but did you ever have any disappointment? Like, yo, you could have taken these steps to verify, or was it just like, all right, this is your story and you my dog, I'm gonna roll with it?
You my nigga. Because honestly, if I was to say, well, why didn't you look at her ID and ask? I'm not asking nobody for their ID. I'm taking a word. Like, I feel like anybody could get caught up with that. Now, if you hitting me with some Diddy accusations, then I'm gonna just have to slide to the left. But I feel like if you are truly a friend, you should at least give that person, you should know the person well enough to where if you go and ask them and they tell you, you can have a discernment of yeah or no.
Yeah, that's my answer too. I need to hear their story. And if I'm not close enough to them to hear their story, then it don't even really matter. That's not a friend to me.
Yeah.
But if it's someone that I could reach out to and hear their story, and then I get to make my discernment based off what I heard and what I know about them as a friend, then okay, I'll make my decision from there. Like, I have to hear their story.
What about you? What's your thoughts on that? And I got a follow up for y'all.
Yeah, the reality is that there's always a possibility that a friend could be dropped.
Could be what?
Could be dropped. That possibility is always on the table, just like relationships.
What does that mean, though? What does a dropped friend look like?
Like, I don't. We're done. Like,
this might want to. This ties into what I'm about to ask. My fault.
Because I had a friend. There was a friend years ago I was like coming out of high school when we moved back to Indy and I was about to be a senior in high school. And like, I was cool with dude. Like, I was like, oh, this is my guy. I rock with him. He was like one of my first friends moving to Indiana. I was a new kid at the school. I was like, okay, cool. And then one day he was like, hey man, why don't you come over to the crib? I was like, all right, cool. We're gonna play some video games, whatever. But then when I seen how he treated his mama, when I seen how he treated his sister, there was numerous occasions I was like, hey bro, I don't really rock with that. Like, I don't know what's your issue. I got a cousin like that too. I just, that's a soft spot for me. Like, yo, don't be going it crazy like with your mama. Like she's, you know what I mean? And so he had done it one last time post high school, and I just made that decision. Like, you dropped. Like, we're not friends no more, bro.
Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
And I'm with you because this is just me just sparking the conversation. Were you in the right to even say like, do you feel like you had enough? Do you feel like you had enough of the? Yeah, do you feel like you had enough equity put in to say something like that? Because sometimes, and obviously not saying morally you're not wrong, but some people might look at that like, bro, who the fuck is you to tell me how to talk to my family? Or you don't know my side of it or what they do to me or say to me when you're not here. Did you ever think about it? Or did you just look at it solely as, hey, man, like, if I'm going to consider you a friend, you can't be doing that?
Yeah, yeah, like that. Like, it's like if we gonna be rocking, like, this should not move me the way it moves me as your friend. Like, it's like, it's one thing, like, all right, it ain't got nothing to do with me, but you're going crazy right now on the phone with your mom. Like, you're going crazy, and every time I see her, she's trying to look out for you, and it was just one of those things where it's like, foundationally, like, I can't be friends with you if I can't. Like, I'm not gonna be friends with a shitty person, bro. I don't care what the stake, how much investment, how much, deposits we've made. Like, I'm not gonna be friends with a shitty person, period. Because, like, now I gotta start. I feel like now my friendship has to be explained, and I ain't about to do no explaining when it comes to my friendship.
Beat women. I've had, I'm cool with a lot of males. Once you tell me, yeah, I slapped that bitch across the wall. I don't know. I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely.
Is there ever any grace? So this kind of ties into the follow-up that I had from that a couple questions ago. We talked about, accusations or whatever the case is. What if you find out the accusations are true? Yeah, you talked to them, you got their story, they said this. Then it comes out even more stuff, and they're like, oh, it's true. You really are this type of nigga. You really did do this. You really did.
Oh,
like
now we get the question. Now we get to question our friendship. Because why'd you lie to me? Like, I'm a person that's supposed to know you. Like, you fuck with me, I ain't gonna judge you. Well, I'm gonna judge you, but you shouldn't have to be like, nah, bro, I ain't like they lying, bro. Like, you should be able to be like, yeah, I did that shit, bro. Like, I'll let you make whatever decision. They like us what?
They embarrassed.
That's fair, but I feel like with friends, there's an embarrassment thing, and then there's with friends, like, yeah, I'm embarrassed, but still, like, the deal, or I can give you the deal because you know me in so many other type of ways. Pause. You know me like in these different fields of life, and you know that I'm not a terrible person. I may have slipped up this one time, so I should be able to be real enough with you. I got a lot of them because they got this perspective of me anyway. So if it comes out that you lied to me, and I'm like, bro, like, now we got to question our friendship and what I can even respect coming out of your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you ought to be able to keep it real with me and give me the opportunity to be like, I can't fuck with you no more, bro. Like, you got to respect me that much as a friend.
If we can't be honest, we can't be friends. Like that.
Exactly.
That's right. What you're saying.
I gotta lie to you. If I gotta lie to you as a friend,
we're not friends. We're associates now. Now we're associates.
Like, you just somebody I'm cool with. No, I can't. You don't lie to your friends because they know you. So like, I ain't talking about a white lie. I ain't talking about a white lie like, oh man, I'll be in town this weekend. You gonna pull up? Yeah, absolutely. When you have no plans,
bro, something happened, came up. Yeah, like that's different.
Yeah, like, I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about serious shit like what we talking about. No,
yeah,
there are lies that you can tell to your friend. Yeah, I was at such and such house because I told you I wasn't going to such and such house ever again, but I slipped up and I don't want to tell everybody about it. So yeah, there are lies that you can tell to your friend. But it ain't like on a serious level that you talking about with accusations of sexual assault and rape. Like, nah, don't lie to me about no shit like that.
Mm-mm.
So let me ask you this. Let's say they didn't lie and they told you what happened. And it was whatever fucked up accusation it was.
I ain't fucking with you.
I was about to say, okay.
Yeah, I don't fuck with that. Like, friend, like, again, at that point, friendship really ain't got a lot to do with it. Like you said, Mo, friends can be dropped.
Relationships can be dropped.
If you got to rape a chick and you admitting it to me, like, nah, bro, I'm cool. You lose my number.
That's a lose my number,
boss. Golden State running practice in my house, nigga. What am I about?
There's no need for me and you to ever talk again.
Yeah. Agreed. What am I about?
Yeah.
Spiking myself at a conversation about non-negotiables. That's one of them. There are certain things that are just non-negotiable when it comes to friends and actions. No matter how long I've known you,
Yeah.
Even though that can be. You said what?
I'll draw a hard line. Like I just
yeah. When we talking about that, come on.
Yeah,
I do want to double back on something you said, Mo.
Okay.
When you said about and Portia laughed, not even a phone call. I do want to. You're right. I do want to say that because I never even thought to like. Let me call Mo. He just had a kid. I didn't think about that until you just said it, and Portia's reaction to it. So I do want to understand. Like I want you to understand that you're absolutely right. Like, damn, you didn't call me. Like we've been doing this long. But I do want to speak to the expectations of that. I am the friend. It's like where if I wasn't aware of the expectations and now you've made them clear, I will be sure to make sure to do that in the future.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have expected you to think like, damn, Spike Lou didn't call me like when I had my baby. Like
again, I didn't consider it at the time in real time. So I'm not
pointing a finger at you. This is a self-realization for me when you said that. Because I'm thinking about it and what Rich asked me at the beginning as far as the bad friend shit, like, and Portia's response, like, damn, a nigga had a baby and you didn't even like think to like be like, hey, bro, like, congratulations. That never crossed my mind.
Yeah, right.
But that's insane. Like, just from the responses that I seen Portia give, and then that even me sitting thinking about it in real time, it's like, damn, that's what people are talking about.
Yeah, you're learning in real time.
Yeah, facts. So I do want to say that I appreciate you. That was a nice call out, and yeah, I definitely should have called. And I understand the expectations as far as what we were talking about in friendships more so now than I did before.
Yeah, no, and shout out to Joe because again, like I had learned you so much. I didn't have the expectation at the time. Like you responded in text message when I shot the text. I made a post on Instagram. You responded, so it wasn't like, oh, you didn't, But when he said it, I was like, damn, maybe I got low expectation for my friends. It's like, okay, I need to have something to call him a friend, because if not, he's an associate, he's a partner, business partner, or he's a colleague, and I view him as more than that. So I gotta have expectation to consider him a friend. Because if I don't, I gotta now put you in a, you know what I mean? Any of us.
That's a very fair assessment.
If we put zero expectation in the person we're dealing with, they cannot be a friend. A friend is too personal. We got to put them in colleague. I mean, we got to put them in associate or even lower colleague. We can, or peer. We cannot put them. Yeah. So
that goes back to the example I get. If, like I said, with the golf course, when I say a friend of mine, like the expectation there is, oh, you told me you did real estate. This person is looking for a house. I'm recommending you so you can point them in the right direction. So there's an expectation there.
Okay.
That's interesting, man. Because I met a nigga on a golf course and we talk about what we do.
That's really an associate. Keep it a bean. It's associate.
I was just about to say.
You can say, but you can introduce. You can introduce yourself as
on the course.
No, don't do that.
No, I know I'm talking shit. I'm definitely talking shit.
Don't do that.
Tiger Woods, y'all.
Don't do that.
But what I'm saying is, if it was
you
me,
could say
I said,
a friend of mine, or would you say an associate of mine?
I would just say a dude that I golf with, because I don't want. And here's why. Maybe I'm looking at this wrong. I wouldn't want to put my name. I wouldn't want to vouch for that. Like almost make it seem like, oh yeah, this dude real estate, he gonna get you together. And then he never hears anything from you. And I was like, damn, Rich, what the fuck? Like,
shout out to Early Tyler.
Oh no, that's fair. That's a fair point.
But that's why I wanted. There's a line, and maybe I know we talked about colleagues, peers, but maybe we can do away with all that stuff in general, and just trust our instincts and our line on certain things. Because all three of you, if I know you're an expert, you have a certain expertise, and I send somebody your way, I can vouch for that. I can be like, oh yeah, these people will get you together. And if something went wrong, then there must have been some kind of either you did something or you didn't communicate properly. Because I know these three are solid and they're gonna look out, especially if I told them. And obviously hit y'all up too, because I do think that's a big part of friendship too. Don't volunteer your friends for shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like hitting the nigga up, like, hey man, somebody just reached. Yeah, I think that's a real big thing that people don't think about. Just like
hey man, you ought to have this dude on your podcast call is the worst call. Hey man, you should have this dude on your podcast.
Oh man,
Yeah, I don't know
still,
about all that.
Spike, I'm still having nightmares about a certain said guest that we
I know what
had.
you're talking
And
about.
you know the guest.
I know who you're talking about.
I know you're talking about.
I
Too.
still
No different
got
than bringing
nightmares about this. But anyway,
no different than bringing somebody to your. If somebody brings you invite somebody to your crib and they bring somebody with them, like that's a big no for me. What the fuck is y'all guys?
Disgusting.
man.
That's disgusting behavior.
Oh man.
So I got a question for y'all.
Okay.
Are there any non-negotiables that you've realized growing up that you need in a friendship?
I'll start. I need to be able to, coming off the heels of what we just mentioned, I need to be able to feel comfortable and be able to be open with you. And I think I need it to be a two-way street. I think we have to, if we're really going to be friends, it's easy to be friends when everybody's good and laughing and the barbecue going and the music playing. Like when I'm fucked up out here, when I'm really got something I need to talk about, I need to be able to call you and know at least that I can, even if it's the vent, that I can trust in you, that you can take that. I can trust that, hey, if you need advice, I can give you some, or you can just vent, and that I can be the same for you. Because otherwise, I think I can't do surface level, especially at 38 years old. Like, what are we doing? Like, if we really friends, if we really locked in like that, I need this to feel like a safe space for you and me. Man, woman, all of it. Like I need it to be that. I think that's a kind of here's the rub. I might not always use it. I might never use it, but I need to know that it's there. I need to feel comfortable with that. And I feel like everybody here, if I really needed to say something or like, hey man, I'm going through this, like let me rap to you. Yeah, we can do that. I got people in my life that are like that. I think that's a non-negotiable for me. Like if it's surface level, then it's really not friendship to me. It's something else, maybe a lower form of it, whatever. But the real deep shit, that's something that's really important because life is hard. This shit hard, and nigga, I don't need no fucking meme right now. Nigga, I need somebody to talk to. I need to get through this shit. Like, you feel me? Nigga, fuck your playlist that you send.
I need some advice.
Nigga, I need to talk. Yeah.
Nigga,
I just need to be heard. I just need to be heard. I just need somewhere to vent.
I just need to vent. Yeah.
That's the first one that came to mind.
First one that came to my mind was strict. I don't need no strict friends, bro. Like, I don't need no like stickler, like, oh, you said you were gonna do that. Like, friends, to me, one of the main things of friendship is understanding. Like, and you have to understand the person that you're dealing with. So I don't deal with strict people at all. Like, it's just not a thing that I do. So
that's because authority is authority is a trigger for you.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, it is. It is 100%. Yeah. So like strict friends were like, we going out of town and we got to follow this agenda, and like, nah, bro, like we vibing, bro, we chilling. So like strict people, strict friends, like that's no for me. That's a red flag.
Okay.
Well, you might have said yours already. Just don't be a terrible person.
I mean, definitely that. Like, if I can't, if you get too far out of the boundary of my morality, it's definitely a no-no. Like, I got a lot of grace for a lot of things for people because we are human. We all live in a human experience. But if you get too far out of that realm where I'm like, bro, I don't rock like that. Like I told you, a dude like disrespecting his mama and his sister. Like, I don't know if you're, a womanizer. I don't know what that is. Even at that early age, there wasn't even an established term, or at least I wasn't familiar with it. But like, if you get to a place where you make me feel uncomfortable as your friend because you're doing shit that's out of pocket, yeah, nah. That for me is not like, if you put your hands on your girl, if you're not there for your kids, and you have the availability, not that like your baby mama like is cutting you off, but if you're not there for your kid, like bruh, listen to me. I don't care. I can know friends for all my life. If these are certain things, no sir. Like I don't rock with that. Like, if you got availability to your kids and you're not there for them, we ain't rocking. In the words of Ray P, you're not my type of nigga. Like,
shout out to Ray P.
Straight up, like just a certain thing, because nigga, what am I about? You know what I mean? Like, that's how I look at it. If I still rock with you and you doing these things that I don't agree with to this degree, nigga, what am I about? And that's the way I always feel. So nah.
My fault. Go ahead, Portia. You didn't even answer.
For me, it's I need reciprocity, and I need my friends to consistently challenge themselves, whatever it is. I don't care what your lifestyle is, what your goals are, but if you don't consistently have a goal, I can't rock with you.
Why?
Because if you're not in my mind, if you're not continuously learning or challenging yourself, you feel like you are complete, and I don't feel like anyone is ever complete. So if you aren't bringing new things to the table that make me be like, yo, she tried this, let me put this in my toolkit because it helped her or it helped him, or I see him changing into the person that he wants to be, and we have those conversations. If you just steal the same nigga from high school or even a year ago, I just can't do it.
How does that affect you though?
Because if we are friends and I'm spending my time with you, I don't want to ever feel like I'm stagnant. Or if someone is stagnant and I'm continuously growing, I know people that can turn into resentment, that can turn into hate. Like, I need you to we don't have to want the same things, but just like I want to be better with whatever path I'm going on, you also have to have a goal as well.
Hold on,
That's
fellas.
how you get haters.
Hold on, fellas. So if your friend is content with where they are, they say, "Hey, I'm here," and they're still just as good of a friend as they've always been, but you're still passionate about, your growth and where you're trying to take this thing called life. That is reason enough for you to say, "Nah, I can't."
I'll probably distance myself from you because if you're staying the same, if you're staying the same and I'm growing, we're not gonna have nothing to talk about.
That ain't necessarily true, because life experiences happen even though somebody's content. Somebody could be their life experiences could create more conversations, but they may be content. Like, I found what I love. I'm good with this, and I'm just gonna keep continually.
That ain't what I mean. Sorry.
I love that I'm able to hear Portia and Mo and how people heard me and Mo talk. So I ain't even got to say nothing.
I'm over here shut up. I'm just listening.
But no, what I mean is, when I say content, okay, like, I am content in the job that I am in. I'm not trying to be a business owner or anything like that. I don't mean it like that. I mean it as, I want to be a better woman. I want to consistently be more loyal. I want to consistently look in the mirror and see, oh, okay, I wasn't right with this. Let me see how I can better myself. I never want to be around somebody who thinks that what they know is what they know, and that's right, and that's the end all be all. That's what I mean.
Okay.
So you ain't talking about from a career standpoint. Like, if
No,
they have
no,
a nice job at Microsoft making $300,000 a year, you don't
Okay.
expect them to be like, oh, I want to get into real estate or stock markets. You just talking about from a personal
just
standpoint,
a personal
like,
growth standpoint.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Got it.
This is I guess there are two. We kind of hashed this. I have a question. We kind of discussed this in the past, and it's a whole different. I don't even want to mud the waters with it because it's about moralities and things like that. Nah, because it's really not. Because you guys have, I know Spike for sure. We've discussed it and you've explained it. And I think Portia, you might have been on for an episode with us. Actually, yeah, you were when we talked about supporting, however you want to view that word, celebrities or artists who have been accused, maybe even found guilty of certain things, and still being like, nah, I'm gonna rock their music. But I know the conversation really was, hey, I don't know them enough. They're a figure to me. They're not even a person to me.
I'm glad I met Portia. She helped me be able to be more comfortable to double down in it. Like, I don't care, bro. I don't care what he did. Like, that has nothing to do with me, bro. Like, you can be a terrible person and make a great movie, make a great song, and I'm still going to enjoy that song. Like, it's not me supporting you and giving you money towards your case. It's not me donating towards a criminal enterprise. Like, I don't care. I'm gonna listen to the good. Like, I'm gonna listen to TP2.com. I'm gonna listen to R.Kelly album. I'm gonna do it. I don't care. I don't really like. That's separate from me, from them and the arts to me.
Yeah,
I'm very
I don't have children. That's you have a daughter, and we come back to this conversation.
I still don't think I feel differently if I have a daughter.
Yeah, again,
I would say
you're on that side. It's so easy to say, bro. I have so many theories and thoughts. When I have a child, I'm gonna, bro. When you
you don't listen to R. Kelly music, you don't listen to R. Kelly.
No. But I will say this. Hold on, I will say
this. Wait. Who else have you excluded out of your like musical or film vocabulary because of things that they've done?
I mean, Bill Cosby, but I wasn't a big fan of Bill Cosby.
You don't watch the Cosby Show no more.
I never did though, so it really wasn't like when y'all talk
about
that.
Your daughter, would you let your daughter watch the Cosby Show?
I can't even see her being interested, to be honest. Like, she was born in 2014.
Let's say she was. Let's say she came across it. Oh, Dad, I want to binge this, and she wanted to watch the Cosby Show. You would actively like take a stance against that.
Yeah, turn that bullshit off. This nigga was drugging women and having sex with them.
That's
absolutely
crazy. And it got nothing.
It ain't crazy. It ain't crazy. It's crazy when you're not a father.
You know
you're
what?
A father. You had a child through your balls that shot into your wife. And
don't go all technical with me, nigga.
No. That's exactly what it is. See, it's easy when you're on that side, bro. I've been on that side, and I should theorize and think about things totally different. Like, oh, when I have my kid, I'm gonna be like this. I ain't about to do like them. I had so many thoughts until I arrived, and now that I've arrived, nigga, it's totally different, bro.
So are you one of them, Mo?
Huh?
Are you one of those people?
What?
Where it's like, oh, you don't have kids, so you don't know. Oh, you're not married, so you don't know.
No, I'm actually, me and Spike.
Hey, he hit me with that. He hit me with that too, Portia. He's like, Spike, you keep talking down about marriage. I'm gonna come on and give you.
Listen, I absolutely see, but here's the thing, though. People seem to go back to book one. We had so many conversations, and I definitely didn't try to pull a Beanie Siegel. You disqualified for so many conversations, but after a while, you double, triple, quadruple down on stuff, and now I gotta establish like Beanie Siegel, you not qualified. That's the only reason. I never was like that because I don't like when people do that. Because I've been there. I was one of those people like I would speak to things even though I wasn't necessarily in that experience. But now I'm at the place where I'm like, what? Go ahead.
What if I'm getting up-to-date information from qualified people who are telling me these things? Like, I ain't just because like you said, I don't know what it's like.
Okay.
But without being too personal, there are a lot of people that I know in my life that are married, that are like the situation I told about to you, Rich, when we talked about it. I think Portia, you was on. Like, there are a lot of people that are married that are like, bro, this ain't it. This is not it. I ain't fucking with it. I wish I never did it. Whatever you doing right now, keep doing that. Like, I've heard that more so than I have what you're saying.
Okay, well, let me be the one out of a million people. Let me say this. Bro, when I come home from work, us as black men, black women, whoever, we go through and we gotta play the politics of the work world. We got to do all of the things to make sure we sustain this thing we call life. We got to be able to keep this home, keep this car. We got to keep this shit all together, and it affects our mental. But when I come home, bro, there is not a feeling in the world that is like when I walk into the door and I see my daughter, my 10-year-old daughter comes in. She might be joking with me, whatever it is. Hug her, kiss her on the head. Oh, Dad, get off me. I see my 1-year-old son. He could barely talk, but he's trying to say daddy, and I pick him up, and then I see my wife and kiss her. Don't get me wrong. It's challenging as shit at moments. But there's not a feeling of recharge. If I was on my own, I can't see. Even when I go visit home, I go to family in Indy, whatever it is, there's not a level of recharge like your own family that you created, which shows significant other. There's nothing that compares to that.
Let me echo this real quick, because I'm sorry, Mo. I'm just putting this in real perspective to most benefit because Portia, I mentioned them earlier, Salt barks every 4 days in the group chat. Every 4 days in the group chat, Salt or Barks will say, "Hey, Rich, Chaz, have some kids, man. It'll change your life." Like they are. When I tell you fatherhood changed them, they both have girls.
I promise.
They are. I'd have never thought I heard it. They tell me all the time, "I have some kids, man. You ain't even got to get married. Have some kids. It'll change your life, man."
That is so stupid.
I'm telling you,
that is stupid.
I'm not. All right, here's the
Bart. Shut it up. That is stupid.
I'm not. Listen, I never asked a reasonings or anything like that. I get it from what they're saying. So this ain't. I'm not saying it for that part of it.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about there is something that changes that I've seen firsthand.
I would hope.
In men when they have kids that they care about and love.
Oh, it's
not everybody love their kids, man.
No. It is different.
I would hope, but I don't know. I don't subscribe to that ministry.
That's fine. But what I'm saying
wait. Which ministry do you not subscribe to?
I don't subscribe to the ministry of, and this is no shade, Mo. I swear to God.
No. I've heard this, so I know.
I don't subscribe to the ministry of people trying to push marriage and or kids on someone who doesn't have it because they feel as though something is missing because they have it and we quote unquote don't. That is so weird to me. That is so annoying to me. Like, because I get that a lot too. Like, you should have kids. You would be a great man.
Which is crazy, like to approach. But you know what else is like weird too? Is because you don't, you immediately, not you, but people in general immediately bash because you don't feel included. People do this all the time, like, oh, because I'm not this, and now you get defensive. Now you're looking for what's wrong with it, and now
it's not that we don't feel included. It's that we have made a decision, pretty much.
Okay, but if you made a decision, why dog the decision other people made?
But
it's not dogging it though. Y'all are coming to us telling us.
It's usually the person with the kids trying to influence. I have never been a single woman without kids telling my homegirls with kids, girl, you shouldn't have had them, child. It's a time outside, child.
So somebody telling you the otherwise on the flip side, they telling you should have kids?
Yeah, you should have kids, Portia.
Okay. That's wild. Now that's wild.
No, people tell me that all the time.
See, I'm not that. I'm not. No.
I don't. And like, just like when Rich was like, yo, every 4 days they hitting, yo, have a kid.
Hey, listen. Listen to me. We were in. Listen, let me make this clear. As a married person with kids, 2 kids, we were in Walmart. We walking through the baby section, like, oh, we gotta get some more diapers. He's Tyler, whatever. You want to have another one, bruh? With the loudest voice, a third one. With the third one with the loudest voice in Walmart. I said, "Fuck no." She punched me in my chest like, bruh, because I was dead ass.
To your max.
Yeah, I'm at my max. I physically can't do another child because it requires so much. Mm-hmm. So I'm not the person. Let me just say this to clear it up because I feel that's why I said with Portia, I see where you're coming from. I've never been that person. Like I'm not that person. Like, oh, go get married. Hey, get you a child. I'm just telling you my experience as far as there's something that I gain from this. Not say, oh, y'all don't gain from positive affirmations and positive energies from other relationships. I'm not saying that. Like that ain't never been my angle. Spike, we've done many of podcasts and we've always had 2 different perspectives. I'm never that person, but I'm saying is there is something special in my life coming through with that, even though as all the things you've heard, Portia, all the things Rich has heard, Spike has heard, we're like, oh, it's difficult, it's challenging. Niggas like, hey, stay single, nigga. And trust me, I thought about what that life would be like. Like I theorized that side. What would it look like if I was on that? So like Andre 3000 has said this. What was it on the Real Her on the Drake album? Like, you know, they lust for some trim, we lust for some trust. No, don't do that. Don't do that.
A Drake feature.
But it's Andre's quote though.
Okay.
They lust for some trim, we lust for some trust. That's the single man versus the married man. It's always you're never fully satisfied on both ends. So
I have a question for you, and you can choose to pass if it's too personal. You
Okay.
said you don't want to have any more kids.
Yes.
Are you getting a vasectomy?
That has been a conversation. I was this close until I talked to another brother of mine that had a vasectomy. And when he started, I was cool. I was like, okay. Then he got to a certain part of the process. And I was
You're
like,
going to be asleep, though. You're going to be asleep.
Yeah, but he was talking about a certain part of recovery. I was like, I never had a surgery before in my life. So that kind of made me like,
a certain part of the recovery.
Yeah, it was a certain part of recovery where he was like, yeah, I was like, it definitely made me, it turned me off to the point, like, but I mean, like my wife is on,
king. You gonna be the pull-out king.
I'm definitely the pull-out king, but she's on birth control too. Like, but like, I ain't gonna lie, when we delivered the child, and they were like, hey, you want us to go ahead and tie the tubes? I was looking like,
yep.
It wasn't my decision, but I was definitely like, yeah, go ahead, do that. Go ahead, you know. Cause I'm dead ass when I tell you, like, bro, no. Like I can't do it on the pod to tell you like how far a third child would change everything. But I'm telling you.
But you don't want that life.
I don't have nothing else to give. This is the max I could do as far as I can be there for my children and still find a way to be romantic enough to fulfill your need. Stuff, right? A third and still have ambition. A third child, I something got to go.
It's over. Yeah.
So do with that what you will,
man. I think that's I know we segued a little bit, but that was still a great conversation. I think we kind of covered it on friendship. Any last words or one thing we didn't really talk about was what we bring to the table, but I think we did a little bit when Portia asked about what's a non-negotiable, because I'm assuming I know all of us well enough to know that we wouldn't ask for something that we wouldn't provide ourselves.
Okay.
So I think we all kind of know what kind of friends we expect ourselves to be, but I think we had some good topics, some good combo, some good understanding.
Oh, I got something I wanted to say though.
Yeah, go ahead. By all means.
Spike Lou. So I really observe you more than you know. We had a whole book 1 before book 2. And I want to give this to you, brother, and take it as you will. I know that you're an only child, and that still reigns prevalent today at your big age. But I want you to consider this, that you're no longer the only child. You're now a brother to many, many people. And to some people, you're a big brother. And I know that when it comes to leadership and because you're the type of, I already know, we've talked about it many times, you're the type of nigga, do what you want to do. Like, I ain't about to tell you what to do. But people are looking to you. And sometimes you're placed in a position, in a role you didn't ask for, but you got to embrace. And I want you, and it's me, you can say, I ain't listening to that nigga. If you do it, whatever. Like, you taught me in our first book, don't take stuff so personally. So if you don't, you don't. Mm-hmm. But I want you to consider understanding, like, I've been put in a role, a position. I am OG. I'm big bro to some people, and that's gonna be a place where they're looking for my guidance. They're looking for my counsel. They're looking for something from me, even though I'm like, nigga, hey, shit, nigga, do what you want to do. Nigga, who am I? Embrace it and say, all right, I'm realizing they're looking to me, so let me give them something, because your life experiences is what drew them to say, I'm looking to you. So embrace it. I know you've been an only child. I know you've been dolo. You always done what works best for you. And if anybody else benefits from it, by any means, but I want you to consider embracing that role, because now you're here, bro. You know what I mean? People are looking to you. And I know it's different for you, but and we've talked about it a few times, but I'm telling you, I really want you to consider embracing it, even though it's unfamiliar territory. That's the first thing. And my second thing, which is my last thing, you are doing a great job with taking in what people have said for you as far as doing videos and stuff. And now you're getting busy with it. But I want to say this, consider being actionary and not reactionary. I've noticed a lot of things, just in my observation, I do things based on reaction versus leading and taking action before anybody had to tell me I had to do it.
Well, you preaching, ain't you?
This is the definition of friendship.
So because here's and I'm closed. I promise you. It's not like, oh, I'm getting on Spike, nothing like that. This my brother. I don't want to get in a position, and if this ain't you or this is not something worth considering, I just want to make sure I don't put more on. You know how people say, I see more in you than you see in yourself. And I don't want to be that person. If you got your trajectory mapped out and whatever it is, all of y'all, I don't want to put more on you. Like, bro, I know where I'm going and you putting way too much on me. I don't want to be that person because everybody goes through that. Somebody see more of you than you see yourself. But I just want you to consider, and again, consider being more actionary versus reactionary. Somebody told you something, so, oh yeah, I'm gonna show you niggas. Let me do this. Versus, nigga, before anybody told me, let me show y'all. Nobody told me nothing, but I'm gonna go ahead and get ahead of it. I'm gonna drop this on y'all. So that's something that I thought about. So it's those two things, but I've been wanting to say that just off my observations, listening to book one, and I just want to throw it your way, Spike.
That was amazing feedback. I appreciate you as a friend saying that 100%. Like that is something that I needed to hear, and that's something that I feel like book one was a major part in you being able to say that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like the rapport that we built and what we've done, that's like when people ask you, what is another week in the books? What you just said right then could be a clip of. That could be a clip of like, no, I didn't even know this dude, what his brother like before we started doing this.
Right.
And for you to stand on those observations and say, no, I want to say this while we're recording and while we're doing this, that like this is how I feel. I don't even know how you'll respond to this, but I want to get this out. That was a perfect example of what book one was, and why we brought why Rich insisted. Because I was like, oh, I got this for this episode, and like we can do this. And like Rich was like, no.
And I didn't even tell Spike about what happened today. Like this almost didn't happen. I insisted.
Shout out to Rich, man.
He did it to me too, Mo. He was like, no, I insist, and that goes to the credit of like the credit you just gave me, Mo, of Rich being a producer and like knowing his way through the space. He insisted. Like I was like, nah, I think this might like no. Wait, we can wait till the next week, bro. It's cool. And me being able to listen to him as a friend and be like, no, okay, it's cool. So I do want you to understand, I accept all of that. I appreciate you telling me that. It's just, it won't be looked over. And I think that's the foundation of what this podcast and the story is about.
Thank you, brother.
Yep.
Portia Renee, you got any final words before we get out of here?
Don't be good, be great. That's all I got.
Hey man, always appreciate you, Mo. You know what it is. A lot of listeners.
My brother.
Hey, I rock with you, Portia. Like you really moved the needle for real. Like, yeah, keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
I can always rest easy with Portia on the way. I know she's gonna get a point
across. She's
gonna get a point across that I agree with. Like, I know I know that.
Absolutely.
I'm bringing real, man. Bookworms out there, or Spike Lou, my bad. Before we get out of here, you want anything else? I know you responded to Mo, but did you have anything else before we get out?
Nah, that's it. It was a good episode, man. We're the producers. Rich, you doing, of course, you in your bag as far as that. But yeah, we appreciate
that, man. Thanks, y'all. Mo, Portia, as I mentioned, check out Mo Childish Grown Ups podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Roll audio drama series. Portia Renee at the Frequency Podcast. Instagram is Frequency Pod 2. What's your Instagram for that?
Frequency Podcast number 2.
Okay, got you. This is incredible, and I knew it was gonna be this. I wanted to get Mo and Portia in the room together, and have this conversation, man. And Spike Lou, just want to tip my hat to you, man, because I don't know. I feel like the past couple of us, hey, I ain't gonna say people be coming for Spike,
But the way
but
he
I feel
carried
like everybody. No. Here's what it is.
Yeah.
For some reason, it's that time where everybody sees Spike Lou in a certain light, and it's like, all right, as a community, everybody wants to get you there. You've been overly receptive, and I can say that because I know exactly what type of personality you have, and how easy it is to say "fuck y'all," niggas.
Yeah,
but
all y'all
to take it all in stride and be like, you know what, these are people making me get better. And going in full force with it, man. It's an incredible honor. To all the bookworms out there. Absolutely, man. To all the bookworms. And I said this, I don't know if I said this last week. I know I said it to you in private, and I want to make sure I say it again. If you are going to give your friends or people feedback, you know what I mean, on ways they can be better or ways they can grow, please make sure you also give that praise when they do the things they said they were going to do. Make sure you shoot them a good, hey, man, I'm proud of you. Hey, man, good shit. I see you on top of it. As soon as I saw Spike post this video, me and Spike had a DM. I told Spike last Sunday morning. He posted about going to call my DM. Like, bro, like, I done posted a couple things for another week in the books. Where you at? A couple hours later, there it is. And I'm like, man, and it wasn't something he did because I said it. It was too advanced. He had to have already had it done, already in the works. So it was one of those things. But for everybody out there, man, make sure y'all show love.
You ready 4 days where he was at?
All right, bookworms, we appreciate y'all, man. I know y'all love the nostalgic feel with Mo, man. It feels like a book 1 episode. We're still growing over here on book 2, man, trying to do the best we can. We'll be back next week, chapter 32, with another chapter, man. We appreciate y'all. Y'all be cool. We out.
Why you are obsessed with Drake too?
Nah, that's a whole other episode.
That's another episode.
That's the same thing with y'all with Jay.
We've started to ignore him, boy. It's so bad.
Y'all like that with Jay. Like, oh,
you see how we won't even respond to him no more? We won't even respond to him no more.
Who's your favorite rapper, Portia?
Young Dolph.
Young Dolph.
Okay, all right. Now that's different. Okay, now that's different. Like, okay, we might can have a conversation.
I mean, Jay-Z is a very close too.
All right, never.
For the longest, Jay-Z was the first. Before she got hit the Dolph, it was Jay.
Before Dolph.
Yeah, man. We when I linked with Portia in Cincinnati back in April, we was playing at Uno. Was it Uno? What game were we playing? Nah, it was something else.
I whooped your ass.
Phase 10.
Yeah, Phase 10. Dolph playlist the whole night. Dolph playlist the whole night. So,
that's all right, y'all. We're gonna have a different conversation in about 5 years. Don't worry about it.
All right. Anyway, we're gonna do this again, man.
Conversation with more about Drake.
We appreciate it.
All right, man.
If I can cut your mic off, I would. We'll see y'all at 32. Y'all be cool.
All right, Sean.